Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is Mike Keenan from KM Fitness in Manasquan. I have the privilege today of meeting with Doreen Bridgman, the cognitive coach. Welcome, Doreen.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is going to be on a number of different pages, so just stick with us and we'll give you all of Doreen's contact information at the end. But Doreen is a speech and language pathologist. Doreen, what exactly is a speech and language pathologist?
As a speech-language pathologist, I can assess as well as treat any area of communication difficulty. So if somebody has difficulty speaking, like I just did, I can address that. If somebody has a neurological issue, language disorder, word finding, dysarthria related maybe to a stroke or brain injury, speech pathologists address that. We work with school-age children, working on learning how to read, learning how to write, as well as putting their thoughts together, script development, so any area of communication as well as swallowing.
Okay, wow, that's fantastic. Okay, well, one of the things we're going to talk to you about today is nutrition and brain health. So a big topic is sugar. So give me some insight as to you feel that sugar affects our ability to think clearly and focus, and maybe target this more towards the adults and senior population.
Yes, so in order to understand the impact of sugar, you need to understand there's a connection between your gut and your brain. Most of us don't really think about that, but there are neurons that are common in both your brain and your gut. And so what the researchers have found is that from your gut, if you are eating inflammatory foods, which sugar is one of them, what can happen is it can permeate from your gut and travel through your bloodstream up to your brain. If that happens, your brain will experience inflammation as well, and when you have inflammation in your brain, it will affect things like your attention, your ability to form new memories. It can also increase anxiety, depression, and as your brain is inflamed and not working as well, what happens is it doesn't send the adequate messages to your gut, so your gut is impacted and it becomes a very negative cycle.
So it's almost like a negative feedback loop.
Yes.
It can get worse.
And the interesting thing is when you are in that loop consistently, it's kind of your new norm, so you don't notice that your brain is not functioning as well.
Right, but I'm sure that when you speak with parents, they may say to you, something's different, whether it be an adult like their parent or their child.
Yes.
You know, they can see a difference in their cognitive abilities.
Yes, if you pull sugar away initially, obviously you're going to feel almost that withdrawal feeling, so you're going to feel worse, and people say, well, I don't like that, but you need to let that occur for like 7 to 10 days, and then you'll see some cognitive clearing.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get right to the kids now, and with their ability to focus and even their behavior in school. How does sugar affect that, ability to focus and to maintain good behavior?
Well, so if children have too much sugar in their system and they're experiencing that inflammatory process, they are going to have a hard time staying focused. You will see them moving about more frequently. You might see that their anxiety is a little bit high, or they may have some emotional reactions to things that aren't anticipated.
One of the things that we talk about here at KM Fitness is the science is telling us that kids can metabolize about 24 grams of added sugar per day. That's probably somewhere around 6 teaspoons of sugar. So a lot of the sports drinks and the sugary cereals actually have in excess of that in just that one meal, or that one beverage. So compound that over time, how much they're doing every day, day after day, it can become a problem.
Right, and that's why we see that behavior day after day, because their diet's not changing on a daily basis. They're eating the same sugary cereal for breakfast. They're taking the same sugary drinks to school. They're eating them at lunch. So they're fueling themselves again then for the afternoon. They may have had recess where they get rid of some of that excess energy, but then at the same time they're drinking a fruit juice.
Right. Okay. Now, the other things that we're seeing a lot with kids and young adults too is the energy drinks that are high in caffeine and sugar. How does that affect our brain health?
Right. So again, it's the same way that we're overstimulating, and then we're not able to attend. And if you can't attend, your brain's not processing information. If you don't process and attend information, you can't remember it. So we're seeing some of those cognitive difficulties that may not be organic to the child's brain development, but they could be basically inflammation induced.
Okay. There's a lot of neurotransmitters that affect our ability to function, and two of them are dopamine and serotonin, and those are directly related to gut health, brain health. Can you give us a little bit on how these affect our ability to focus and concentrate?
Right. So again, those neurotransmitters, you'll find serotonin and dopamine in both. So we know that there is a relationship. The serotonin helps regulate sleep. So if your brain is out of balance with serotonin levels, you're going to have difficulty with sleep-wake cycles. So you may find that your child is up until 10, 11 o'clock at night. When they have to get up at 6 or 7 in the morning, they can't. Dopamine is that feel-good transmitter. So when we eat sugar, it makes us feel good. So what does that do? It makes us want to eat it again.
Yeah.
So again, it keeps that drive going. So one cookie leads to 2 cookies, and oh, let me have a little bit of candy. And again, you don't realize that you're fueling that sugar need, but that's what's happening.
Wow. Okay. The other thing we talk about is supplements, minerals, vitamins, cofactors that help our body to metabolize the food we eat, and how that could possibly affect brain health. Do you yourself use supplements, and if so, why?
I do. I mean, I eat a fairly clean diet. It's taken a few years to get there, but I also recognize that I don't take in every nutrient that my brain and gut need. And I'm also a fairly picky eater, so there are certain foods I will not eat. Therefore, I need to supplement.
Like fish.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, this was really interesting. I'm so glad you came. How can people find you if they want to get more information or possibly work with you in the future?
I do have a website. It's thecognitivecoach.net. And I also have a Facebook page, thecognitivecoach.net.
Okay, and I will go ahead and put Doreen's contact information in the comments section of every place it's listed, or if you're seeing this by email, you'll also be able to have that link in your email as well. Doreen, thank you so much for spending time with us, and I hope I get to interview you again real soon, because there's so many other topics I'd love to talk to you about.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you so much. Guys, take care. Bye-bye
Bye-bye.
now.